He opens the door and he's like putting up his zipper. I remember. And I just remember her being like,
What is up, everyone? I'm your host, Alannized, and this is the Season 6 premiere of Noche de Pendejadas, your favorite podcast turned talk show en donde yo traigo a tus influencers favoritos para platicar y posiblemente sacarle sus trapitos al sol. Welcome to the season premiere of the 6th temporada de Noche de Pendejadas, amigas. Antes de que empecemos, quiero decirles muchísimas gracias porque sin ustedes y su apoyo, esta 6th temporada would not be happening. I look back at cómo empezó este proyecto y en verdad no me lo puedo creer que estamos in our own fucking studio filming 6 seasons later for you guys because you guys have made this podcast a hit. Antes de que empecemos con el episodio del día de hoy, amigas, I want to take the time to really touch base on what's going on all around the world. Si ustedes no se han dado cuenta, amigas, which at this point I feel like it's expected for you to know what's going on around us, especially si vives en los Estados Unidos, amigas. Our community has been targeted by ICE. We've been seeing a lot of ICE raids the last couple of days and weeks. I've been trying my best to keep myself informed for myself and for my friends and family. Y también on my Instagram and TikTok, I've been doing my best reposting and talking about the situation para que ustedes allá en casita estén bien informados. I feel like all the reposting I've done on my other platforms isn't enough if I don't talk about it on here because this is my biggest platform in terms of viewership. What's happening right now, amigas, isn't about politics anymore. Esto en verdad que sí se ha convertido en un tema of basic human rights that our people are getting stripped of. Acuérdense, amigas, sí o no tienen papeles, ustedes todavía tienen derechos. If ICE shows up to your house, do not open the door if the agent does not have a warrant. This warrant needs to be signed by a judge. If the agent has a signed warrant, but the person that they're looking for does not live in your home, no les abras la puerta, amigas, and remember, ustedes tienen el derecho to stay silent. If you guys are taking part in the protest, amigas, please be careful, be safe, and make sure you guys protest peacefully. Stay vigilant, be safe, y los quiero mucho, amigas. And with that being said, espero que disfruten del primer episodio de la 6th temporada de Noche de Pendejadas. This episode of Noche de Pendejadas is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. From vacation rentals to hotels across the US, Booking.com has the ideal summer stay for absolutely anyone, even those who might seem impossible to please. Whether you're booking for yourself, your partner, your sleep light, rise early mom, or your high maintenance group chat, you can find exactly what you're looking for on Booking.com. So if I can find my perfect stay on Booking.com, anyone else can. Find exactly what you're booking for, Booking.com. Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. Amigas, ustedes saben that I'm not big on trends, but I am big on clothes that feels good and lasts. That's why I keep going back to Quince. Their lightweight layers and high quality staples have become my everyday essentials. Quince has all the things you actually want to wear this summer, like organic cotton silk polos, European linen beach shorts, and comfortable pants that work for everything from backyard hangs to nice dinners. The best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middleman, Quince gives you luxury prices without the markups. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Stick to the staples that last with elevated essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/Allen for free shipping in your orders and 365 days return. That is QUINCE.com/Allen to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Allen. When was the last time you needed to go to the doctor but pushed it off? Maybe made an excuse like, I'm too busy, it'll heal on its own, or I don't even know which doctor to go to? I think we've all been there because booking a doctor's appointments can feel so daunting. But thanks to Zocdoc, there's no reason to delay. They make it so easy to find and book a doctor who's right for you. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to settle anymore when it comes to finding the right doctor. With Zocdoc, you've got options. Zocdoc is a free app and website website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. Stop putting off those doctor appointments and go to Zocdoc.com/Alan to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That is ZocDoc.com/Alan. That is Zocdoc.com/Alan. Men's skincare routines are usually non-existent. If the guy in your life is still splashing water on his face and calling it a day, it's time for an upgrade into the Skin Ultra Advanced Kit from Manscaped, a 3-step daily skincare routine made specifically for men. It's simple, effective, and doesn't take more than a few minutes a day. Think of it as the self-care without the fluff, just clear results. Whether you're shopping for your partner, brother, friend, or gently hinting it's time they stepped up their skincare game, this is the ultimate no-nonsense upgrade. Over 12 million men trust Manscaped. Join them and use code ALLEN for 15% off your entire order at manscaped.com. The Ultra Skin Advanced Kit includes 4 premium products: the Face Buffer Pro Electric Face Scrubber, an exfoliating face wash, a brightening vitamin C serum, and a hydrating moisturizer. So upgrade his skincare game with the Skin Ultra Advanced Kit from Manscaped. This is the kind of gift he didn't know he needed but won't stop using. Get 15% off with code ALLEN at manscaped.com. That is 15% off with code ALLEN at manscaped.com. With that being said, amigas, please help me welcome my guest tonight, Melody Valadez. Hello, amiga,
Hi.
¿cómo estás?
Good, and you?
No se escuchan los aplausos, amigas, aplauden. How are you? Welcome to the
good.
podcast.
Thank you.
I am so excited, amigas, de tener a Melody aquí para atrás for today. If you guys didn't know, Melody was actually on the podcast in 2022.
Yeah.
Y pues ya tocaba como a little update. I feel like it's been so long since we've seen each other. When was the last time?
It was for sure a party.
I think it was, you know whose party? Was it that one party
Yeah.
in the roof? In the roof. Like, it was like
in the sky.
I'm like up here. I'm like in heaven. No. But it was like a very like long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
I want to
En
say
las
like,
montañas.
yes, it was like 2 years ago
Yeah,
for sure.
2
Ya ha
years
sido
ago.
mucho tiempo, amigas, y ya tocaba a little update con la Melody. Entonces me la traje el día de hoy para hablar all things chismes y toda tu vida.
I've seen everyone tagging me on your, because pones ahí for who to come out, and I seen everyone tagging me. So aquí estoy.
Melody literally drove out here all the way from Arizona. Cuéntanos un poquito, what was it like, the drive? Was there traffic? How long was the drive? Cuéntanos
Yeah,
todo
there's
eso.
always traffic. I feel like everyone from freaking Cali is going over there. I'm like, everyone stay in Cali.
I went to your quinceañera.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
for
was
sure
14.
I've known you for like at least 6-7 years, you guys. And I'm so excited de tenerte aquí el día de hoy para platicar. Pero antes de que empecemos con todo el chisme, te voy a dar a ti el micrófono para que nos digas un poquito más de quién eres y qué haces.
Hi guys, my name is Melody and I'm currently 21 years old. I'm a content creator. I do Snapchat. I literally snap my whole day. I do TikTok. I've been on TikTok live recently.
Ajá, te he
No sé
visto,
si me han
te he
visto.
visto. Vámonos, y vamos a platicar todo eso, amigas.
I've been trying to like do social media again because I feel like I haven't done nothing. I feel like if someone says something about me, talks about me, no me meto. I just see it and I'm just like, whatever, next.
Yo ya voy a empezar con el chisme que tenemos el día de hoy porque déjales digo, amigas, tenemos mucho de qué platicar. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the first thing que a mí me gusta empezar con because I feel like it's really important and almost necesario de conocer un poquito más of your upbringing, of how you grew up. So with that being said, cuéntanos un poquito más of how was Melody growing up. ¿Cómo fue tu infancia, amiga?
I grew up in Lake Havasu City. I was raised in Phoenix my whole life. I feel like mostly everyone has seen me grow up on social media. Have you guys seen all the drama? Everything I do, I feel like it's just out there. Like, no me puedo sentar en la silla porque Melody's with Alannized.
What was it like growing up in Phoenix most of your life?
I'm like, it's so boring over there.
Is
Like,
it?
Yes. Like, if it was for me, I wish I was born here. I feel like there's so many opportunities and so much things to do here than over there. I feel like I'm kind of thankful for being over there because all the amistades I've met, everything I've been through, like, I feel like it's just, like, todo pasa por algo.
Do you feel like you like LA more because it's más ambiente?
Yes. And I feel like I have more, like, work over here. And I feel like Phoenix is just where I live and I sleep
You're like, and that's it. I party in LA.
Yeah.
Literally. Cuéntanos un poquito más de tu relación con tus papás. Growing up, do you feel like you were more of a daddy's girl or a mommy's girl?
Well, I'm close to my parents. What happens with me, I feel like I just tell my mom everything. My mom's like my best friend. And I know like some people say like your mom should be more of your mom than your friend. But I feel like she's both. I feel like everyone just tries to hate on my mom because of we're in the public eye and they see us like this, like me, my sister, my mom. And I love my mom. And my mom will forever be my best friend. And I will forever tell her everything. Like literally, todo lo que me pasa.
Do you feel like you guys were always like that close growing up? Like tú desde cuando estabas chiquita tenías un novio, you got your period, ibas con tu mamá y le decías?
My mom me sabe todo. Even the first boyfriend I had, my mom doesn't really judge me. She sí me dice like when I'm wrong, you know? I'm like, no le hago caso.
You're like, de que le haga caso es otra cosa.
No, yeah. My mom, she corrects us. She tells us what's right, what's wrong. My mom was a little strict on us. I feel like once I turned 18, ya cambió todo. I feel like I was able to do, like, obviously not everything, but, like, I was allowed to, like, go out. I feel like back then I was under my mom, you know? And I still am, but now, pago biles. I'm, like, once a, like, 5... ¿Cómo se dice? Like...
Once in a blue moon.
Yeah, once in a blue moon. My mom was strict, but now I feel like... My mom's a cool mom now. Like the movie, the what? ¿Cómo se dice?
The
Mean Girls.
The Mean Girls, yeah. She's like all with her little tracksuit.
Maybe she was being a mom and I was a bad one. I wouldn't be able to go out too much because I was bad. Like I wouldn't go to parties because all my friends would go to parties. I would beg my mom, like, Ma, can I go out? She'd be like, no. Because maybe, like, the brother or, like, the dad or, like, you know how parents are. I'm like, nadie me quiere. I just never really liked school. I feel like, I would ditch school. Yeah, I would ditch school. I hated it. Like, I don't know why. Nunca me gustaba. And, like, me regañaban. My mom was strict on, like, say I would have a boyfriend. Porque sí tenía un novio. And I'm sure everyone knows. But I was dating him when I was, like, around 14. So my parents were like, no, like you're too little, you know? Y yo aferrada que quería andar en esa relación. I feel like my mom was strict on that, but since I was always, like, I'm always, like, with my parents. Like, I feel like we're always, like, together, all of us. So, como que my mom didn't really mind it as much no more, because...
Like, she trusted you.
Yeah, she trusted me.
Like, sabía que tenía a bad apple, but you weren't a rotten apple. Podrida no andaba la melody. I feel like that's good, you know, like, you made a little comment, like, oh, people think that my mom should be more of a mom instead of best friend. And I feel like we should, you know, as kids, we should be almost best friends to our parents. Porque pasa mucho donde los papás son muy estrictos, where
and
the
they
kids...
still end up doing it.
Exactly, where the kids don't even want to tell their parents what's going on in their life, and la cagan, or they do stuff, and it's good that your mom at least te tenía esa confianza de que, mija, if you're going through something, cuéntame y yo te ayudo a situate the situation. You know, cuéntanos un poquito más de la relación con tu papá. Obviamente, for those of you guys that don't know, Nestor isn't your biological dad. He's your stepdad. How was your relationship with your dad growing up?
One thing I can say, I feel like I love my dad. I feel like he's like my biological dad. My biological dad, he was really never there for us. And I feel like me and my sister growing up, we always wanted to have like that dad, you know, like that dad, like, well, because he was my dad. I don't know, como de chiquitas, you know, you just always want to be with your dad. And I feel like my dad, he was young. So he
Your biological dad?
Yeah, my biological dad. I feel like he was young and he already had another family. So I don't feel like he really kind of cared about us. So that's why I'm like, I love my dad. Nestor, he was always there for us. He wasn't even our like actual dad and he took care of us.
How's your relationship with your biological dad now?
I am close to him now, like more than back then. I've always been close to his side of the family. I feel like growing up, I was always there. My grandma's like my second mom to me. I don't really talk to them. I haven't really gone over there because like of an incident que tuve. One of my tias, she was with this one guy. They weren't like together, but I don't know what he was feeling that night. And I had went there porque like ellos ya no estaban juntos. I had went that one night. It was 5 de Mayo, I remember. I could say 3 years ago now or 2 years ago. He tried doing something. I was like sleeping and he tried like to levantar like la cobija. And it wasn't like one time, it was like multiple times. And like me, I was scared. I didn't know what to do at the time. And like, I feel like when girls go through stuff, now I could like, you know how people be like, oh, why didn't you say it? Or like, why didn't you talk?
Yeah.
And I feel like you're just scared or like you're scared of like what they're gonna believe you or not. And I feel like me and her were so close. And now like, I get sad because I'm like, dude, like we were so close, you know? Like she was the tia I would tell literally everything to. I ended up telling her the next day because that is cuando pasó eso. I just tried sleeping like...
Like te manoseó or something? Or no,
he was just like, ¿Quieres que te apague like the air that was right there? And like I'm sleeping, you know? And like I woke up and I was like, no, like así déjalo. Oh, he's like, descobíjate, and like he takes half of it off. And I'm like, oh, like what are you doing? And I grabbed the cobija and like I put it back and I'm like what the hell? Like I thought that was weird. So then like I pretend like I'm sleeping. And I'm like, are you still here? Like I start patting around like to try to find my phone. And I see like a phone over here on this side. I just grabbed it and it wasn't mine or my tia's. So then I grab it and like I put it on this side, and then he comes again. He's like, destapate, and like this time he did it like all like half like to right here, like to my legs. And like I was wearing a batita and I didn't have shorts under, like I just had my underwear. He was sleeping in the living room, and I guess like he had his clothes there in the room. He did it 3 times. The second time I was already scared. Like I was like, oh my god, like what is he doing, you know?
¿Y estaba borracho él or anything?
No, he was going to work. My tia was making food for him that day, I remember. And they weren't even together. Like, and she was still there making food while he was over here trying to do something with her niece. The third time, that's when he was like, he came in laughing, like, te dije que te taparas, and he took it all off. And I just remember that day, like, I know he saw me, like, you know, in my underwear. And I just felt so uncomfortable. And I didn't know if it was right or if it was wrong. And I just, like, me quedé callada till the next day. And I remember telling my tia, she didn't believe me. Like, she was like... Well, before telling my tia, I had called my mom. I was like, Ma, like, I was whispering in the restroom. I was like, Ma, like, this happened. And she was... My mom, oh, my God. My mom was so mad. Pinche desgraciado! Like, oh, my God, my mom, she just... I could freaking feel her, like...
Anger.
Yes, I could just feel it. And that's when I tell my tia, and she was like, well, did you tell your mom? And I'm like, yes, obviously. Like, I said, I tell my mom everything. And I was like, yeah, like, I told her. And she's like, why? And I was like, what do you mean, why? And then she's like, why would you say that? Like, now everyone's gonna know this and that. Like, she just didn't want me to say anything. And I was just like, I looked at her and I was like, you're so stupid. I was like, okay, like... all right. And my other tia, she lives there too. She lives like 20 minutes, 10 minutes. And I called her. I was like, hey, can you come pick me up? Like, this happened. Like, I don't want to be here. I was like, and if you can, like, I will walk into your house because I'm not staying here, you know? Y ya, like, I feel like eso pasó como hace 2-3 años. And since then, ya no nos hablamos.
Did you ever tell your biological dad lo que había pasado?
Yeah, I told my grandma. I told my tios, my tias. And I feel like that's why I don't really go out there no more. I just feel like... I feel like it's not... I don't feel like I'm the problem, but I feel like I just don't want to go and, like, start something. Because, if I see her, I will tell them something. Because eso no, like, you don't ever say that to someone.
Is she still with the guy?
No, she's not with him no more.
So
they weren't even together.
So it was like she was trying to defend someone.
Que ni la quería.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
That's why that broke my heart. And
that's crazy. How did you obviamente te pasa eso. Mm-hmm. Did that almost made you kind of like see your aunt and just your family like in a different light?
Yeah. Some of them believed me and some of them didn't either. And I feel like that just broke my heart. I was like, what the hell? Basically, I grew up with like, they saw me as a niña chiquita and like they took care of me, everything. And for them like not to believe me kind of broke me.
Who not believing you broke you the most?
My tia. Because I was like this to her. So that's why I was like, okay. I was like, bye, honey. She had her cousins texting me, telling me stuff like, girl, talk to me, you know? Like your husband did it to me. Why do you have your cousins texting
Pero
me?
¿qué te estaban texteando? Like, you better not say anything?
No,
or
like,
they
just don't say nothing because you already know it goes around with the family. And I'm like, I don't care about them.
Yeah, like I'm looking out for me. Yeah, ¿qué tal que te hubiera hecho algo más?
Yeah, I was like, I don't care about them.
That's crazy, mm-hmm. Lo bueno que ya no tienes así tanta comunicación con ellos and you were able to like spare yourself from like a really ugly situation. Quiero platicar, de tu relación con Nestor. Obviamente nos cuentas that growing up he was always in the picture, ¿A los cuántos años él y tu mamá se juntaron? ¿Cuántos años tenías tú cuando se juntaron ellos?
I was born.
You're like literally.
I was like a newborn.
So like for you siempre él ha sido como tu figura paterna.
My dad's my dad to me.
Did you ever have moments, obviamente growing up and, as kids siempre somos rebeldes y cuando te regañaba, did you ever have moments where you're like, Nestor, tú no eres mi papá, no me tienes que decir lo que tengo que hacer?
Yeah, all the time I'm like, he's not even our dad though. But obviously, like the niños chiquitos, I'd be like, I don't like you, this and that. But like now I'm so thankful like that he's always there for my mom, eso sí, like, yeah.
Do you remember like a moment like growing up where you realized like, oh shit, you know what? He's not my bio dad, but sea lo que sea, he's been there for me and my siblings
like
and my mom?
Growing up, I've always known that because we would always want to go with my dad, my biological dad, and he was never there. So, and my dad was always there for us, So I feel like growing up, like, we already knew. My mom would never try to, like, talk bad about my biological dad for us not to want to go, you know? It was always us, like, oh, we want to go, we want to go. I've always had my ups and downs, obviously, with my parents, with Nestor, but I love them. And, yeah, thank you guys for raising me and making me who I am right now. You're peleonera.
You're like, what did they raise? Imagine. No, en verdad que sí. I feel like it's great that you had, you know, that paternal figure in your life.
Yeah.
And I always say this because también mi novio, you know, with his stepdad, I feel like his stepdad, like, picked up the plate his bio dad didn't do. Y yo siempre lo que he dicho is that I admire those men that take in children que no son de ellos, because a lot of men don't. You know what I mean? And especially if they do, a lot of men don't love these kids como si fueran los de ellos. And I feel like Nestor, desde que yo los he conocido and just seen you guys online.
We're just all like this, huh?
Yes, los mira como que si fueran sus hijas biologically. And I feel like a todos. Porque nomás tú y Nicole son de tu otro dad, right?
Yeah.
And then Ethan and Angelique son de Nestor.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like at least it's like tienen siblings en común where it's like, okay, well, he's our dad because he's our siblings' dad. This episode of Noche de Pendejadas is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. From vacation rentals to hotels across the U.S., Booking.com has the ideal summer stay for absolutely anyone, even those who might seem impossible to please. Whether you're booking for yourself, your partner, your sleep light, rise early mom, or your high maintenance group chat, you can find exactly what you're looking for on Booking.com. I love Booking.com because it helps me find the perfect stay for me whenever I'm on vacation. Fun fact, amigas, yo cuando estoy buscando un hotel or a place to stay, one of the things I always look for is a place with a bathtub. I actually don't have a bathtub. Y no sé por qué, pero cada vez que ando de vacaciones, amigas, me gusta bañarme en la tina. So I always make sure that there's a cute restroom para bañarte y pues obviamente tomarte fotos bien bonitas. So if I can find my perfect stay on Booking.com, anyone else can. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com. Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. Amigas, ustedes saben that I'm not big on trends, but I am big on clothes that feels good and last. That's why I keep going back to Quince. Their lightweight layers and high quality staples have become my everyday essentials. Quince has all the things you actually want to wear this summer, like organic cotton silk polos, European linen beach shorts, and comfortable pants that work for everything from backyard hangs to nice dinners. The best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middleman, Quince gives you luxury prices without the markups. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. A mí me encanta Quince, amigas, because the quality se siente y se mira. A mí me regalaron ropita de ahí, amigas, and I love how high quality the garments feel, pero también sé que no están tan caras. Stick to the staples that last with elevated essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/Ellen for free shipping in your orders and 365 days return. That is QUINCE.com/Allen to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Allen. You know, quiero platicar de un tema un poquito más sensible. You know, when you were 13, your brother Sebastian passed away the cancer. Cuéntanos un poquito más. What was life before you guys got the news that he had cancer? Do you remember how Sebastian was as a little kid? ¿Te recuerdas like little momentitos que viviste con él before he was diagnosed?
Yeah, oh, he was such a sweet little kid. I wish we would have done YouTube before he had passed away. We did, but it wasn't like not everyone would view us back then. But if you guys do scroll down, like down the Aguilar's YouTube, there is videos like with my mom in the hospital with Sebastian, because she would vlog like everything she would go through. He was so sweet. He was so nice. I feel like me and him were like this. I feel like he's like a little Angelique, but Angelique is bien cabrona. But yeah, he was so, I don't know, he was just something else. He was a little angel. Tenía una carita bien bonita. I don't know, I just feel like he was just always a little angel. He was just so perfect to us all the time. And every time we would go out, everyone would always tell us like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. And we'd be like, it's a boy. He was just a little angel already, and like we didn't know, you know?
Cuéntanos un poquito el momento that you guys find out about the diagnosis. ¿Te recuerdas cómo se enteraron? How did you take the news? And, you know, at that moment, being 13, ¿cómo te afectó la noticia that your brother had cancer?
Well, when I found out, it was like around Christmas. Cause you know how, when you throw little babies up in the air, like you're playing around with him, y a él se le iba la respiración. He would be like he couldn't breathe, and would be like, okay, like, don't be doing that, you know, like, don't do that no more, like, something's wrong with him. I think he started getting, like, bruises, and my mom would ask, like, hey, did the baby fall? And we'd be like, no, like, we're always taking care of him, you know. My mom would be like, one time she sat us down and she was like, are you guys like
hitting him?
Yeah, or something happening? And we're like, no, like, we swear, you know. And it's not that she was trying to blame us, she just wanted to find out like what was happening to him. Like, imagine your 2-year-old baby, like,
lleno de moretes y todo.
Yeah. So she ended up going to the hospital. I remember that night because he wasn't feeling good no more. He was like turning really pale, and they were there in the hospital for like, I feel like a whole day or 2 days. And we kept calling them and they wouldn't answer, and we were just like waiting, like, oh, what, like, ¿qué tiene? You know. That's when my dad's niece calls me. She's like, hey, Melo. And I'm like, hey, like, what happened? You know. I'm like, what do you want? Stop calling. Just kidding. That's when she was like, hey, is everything okay? Like, my mom told me that your parents are in the hospital with Sebastian. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, they're just trying to, like, we're just having a conversation. Like, yeah, we're just trying to see, like, what's happening. And she's like, oh, well, they told my mom that he has cancer. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, he has cancer. Like, they just told my mom. And I remember, like, just, like, spacing out. And I just hung up. And, oh, wait, I'm gonna cry. Hold on, I need a little break. I just remember telling my sister that my little brother had cancer.
Did you understand what that was, like, being so young?
No. But yeah, I just remember going downstairs telling my sister that Sebastian had cancer. And I remember both of us, me and her, sitting down and crying together. And that's when my tia comes and she was like, why are you guys crying? And we tell her, and yeah, I just remember all night crying. And then the next day my mom comes. From there, I just remember, like, just every day being in the hospital. From there on, like, we were always in the hospital. My mom lived there in the hospital. My mom was never there with us no more. My dad would, like, go and come back because, like, he would be there all the time. But, like, to shower and stuff like that, to get stuff for my mom, he would go and come back. But, yeah, I feel like after that day, we just were in the hospital every single day. My mom did live in the hospital for a whole year with him.
Do you remember, like, a time where your mom sat you down or your parents sat you guys down and they're like, hey, you know, we can lose your brother?
Yeah, they sat us down and they told us everything that was happening. They told us that, well, I feel like se sabe, you know, if someone has cancer, you either make it and you either don't. And we always had hope. I remember this one time too where they would always tell us like, oh, he only, because there was like certain percentages. And they'd be like, if he was, I don't remember the percentages, but let's say a 20 is like good and a 5 is bad. So they'd be like, oh, he's at a 20, he's doing good. And I'd be so happy. I'd go to school that day and I'd be like, I'd be so happy. I'd be like, oh, my brother's like at a 20, you know? And there'd be days that, oh, he's at a 5. So I'd be all sad at school. I'd be like, oh, my brother's a 5 right now, you know?
Was there ever like a moment where the doctors told you guys que ya no podían hacer nada por él?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that last day. Because we had, after my mom, they had Sebastian here at the Children Phoenix Hospital in Phoenix. Ahí lo tuvieron for like a year and we would always be there. I remember they couldn't really do nothing there. So they transferred him to the Children's Hospital here in LA. And we were living here for like a while. My mom was living here first. And then from there, like, my dad couldn't come because, well, like, someone had to stay over there, you know? And my mom was like, oh, like, if I wanted to come to, like, help her. And I was like, well, yeah, obviously, you know, like, I'm not going to leave you guys. I was in 8th grade. I used to go to school over there in Phoenix. And then I came for, like, 3 months. I went to school here in LA. Where was it? No me acuerdo. It was around the hospital. Because we stayed at a Ronald McDonald. Right there was, like, where a lot of patients stay. So there was a school around there. Y yo, pues, siempre caminaba. I would walk to school. I went to school here for, like, 2 to 3 months. And I would stay there with my mom. I'd go back to the hospital and back to the little apartment we would stay for 2 to 3 months. And then after, we moved back after they told us that they couldn't do anything no more. I remember being in that room. There were so many doctors that came in. And they were like, oh, like, there's nothing we could do no more. Because I guess they had poked him wrong. And yeah, that's what caused it. I just remember that day. I remember I cried so much. And the next day I went to school and I remember just telling everyone, like, this is my last day here. Because they couldn't do nothing for my brother. And yeah, they just flew him out. They flew my mom and him out. And my grandma had came and then she picked me up y nos fuimos.
You know, obviamente, el vivir eso at such a young age, especially with your little brother, I'm sure is very traumatic.
Yeah.
How do you feel, you know, before he passed away, going through all of that? ¿Cómo crees que en ese momento te estaba afectando lo que estaba pasando?
I don't know. I was just so like, I feel like I was so lost. Like I was confused. But I'm actually so happy like that I had my siblings around. Knowing that we were so united, I feel like it just kind of made it better, but kind of didn't. Like,
How did you see your parents, you know, take la noticia? Obviamente, as a sibling, it's so hard, but I'm sure as parents, you know, you probably saw them going crazy, you saw them up and down. ¿Cómo mirabas a tus papás en ese momento de sus vidas?
like I would see the sadness in their face. Like I could see them like drained, not happy. But I feel like my mom never, like they never really showed us like them being down. No sé cómo explicarlo, pero they never showed us like weakness. They had to be happy and show that they were strong in front of us, so we wouldn't like be down, you know, because it was so hard, honestly.
How long after, you know, that news that they couldn't do anything anymore did he still have de vida? And, you know, cuéntanos un poquito del momento que, you know, ya no podían hacer nada completamente por él because he had already passed.
Well, I feel like it wasn't even like a month. I feel like it was like a week, 2 weeks. My mom, they tried helping him here, but there's nothing no more. There's nothing to do. That day, I remember the day he passed away, we were all sitting down on the couch. I don't remember, they had gave him some medicine or le dieron algo. And I remember that day he was so happy. He was jumping up. The next day, I remember like there was really nothing to do. My mom just told us like we're gonna all sit down, like, you know, just be there with him. And those days, he took his last breath and we were all there.
You saw him like take his last breath. ¿Cómo te afectó eso el ver, you know, firsthand your brother
Honestly,
passing away?
when he passed away, I didn't even know he passed away. Cause he was my mom was carrying him and we were like all around, and then that's when I remember him like breathing like that, like, and then there he passed away. And like me and my sister, we looked at each other and we're like what's happening? Like, did he pass away? Like, we didn't know. And yeah,
Who told you guys that he had passed away? Your mom?
Yeah, well, she was crying, and I was like, I'm like so slow in life, so I was like, what's happening right here?
I also do feel like as a kid, you know, obviamente you were 13 years old. You were confused. You didn't know what was happening. I'm sure the subject or the topic of death was something that you're like, what the fuck is death, you know? Cuéntanos un poquito about your grieving process. What were the days after, you know, him passing away like? You know, obviamente se están preparando for the funeral. How were those days and how did those days look for you guys?
I feel like the last days were so sad. Everyone had came, and I feel like just seeing everyone, like, it's just so heartbreaking, you know, after like a funeral. I remember those days though, I would get like nightmares. Like, it would be so scary. When it wasn't even like about him or like things around like what had happened. It was like, I don't know, like I would wake up and like there'd be like, I would dream like someone screaming and like cabinets closing, like paranormal stuff. I don't know, it was weird. Maybe like everything that was going in my head, like, yeah. I would dream weird stuff. Those days, I just remember us being in our rooms. Like, I would walk out, every door would be closed. And being, like, in my room, I feel like I would just be in my room, on my phone, crying, looking at videos. Now that I look at pictures, I feel like our face, like, you can tell that our face was drained. Like, my mom's and my dad's especially. No sé cómo se dice, pero como se mira como tipo así como viejito.
Como
like,
acabados.
Acabados, yeah. Like, it was so bad. And we were smiling and like our face just looks arrugada. Well, now he's already 10. I feel like when I talk about it, I could talk about it. It's just right here, me pongo a llorar. I get, like, when I really do talk about him, I get so sad. After 4 years, I feel like you starts to go. But I feel like if I look at a picture, if I look at anything, even my bio, I think I still have my bio right there. If I look at it, like, I feel like I cry still.
I saw your Instagram story hace unos días. Acaba de cumplir 10 años.
Yeah, he's 10.
How does grieving look for you now? Obviamente, so much time has passed. Do you feel like it still hurts the same? Or do you feel like as time goes, you kind of learn to, like, live with the pain?
Yeah, as time goes, I do feel like ha pasado mucho tiempo que I don't really, like, yeah, I get sad, obviously. I feel like back then, though, if someone would talk about, they'd be like, oh, how's your brother? I would not be able to talk about him. Like, I would just bust out crying. And now I could. I could talk about him.
I do feel like grief is like one of those things donde uno, you don't really know how you're going to get through. I always like to say, which is so funny because the day we're filming this, mañana, cumple un año mi abuelito de fallecido, how I was telling you. And I feel like, the whole year, I kind of almost avoided the thought of like thinking that he wasn't here. I feel like whenever I remember, I feel like I have to like land and really feel what I feel. So I feel like I like to say, like, it never gets easier. You just kind of learn to, like, live with it. Obviamente, fallece tu hermano. And I feel like you said, that was during the time where your parents also started doing social media. Yeah. And, your parents documented all the great, amazing things you guys did in su nombre to keep his legacy going. You guys would do toy drives, blood drives. You guys now have your store, Sebastian Aiden, where you guys, keep his name alive. Cuéntenos un poquito más de eso, as a family and how important was it for you guys to keep your brother's name alive one way or the other?
I feel like my mom does this because, as like I said, when she was in the hospital, she would always, ella siempre buscaba, like, why did this happen to my son? How did this happen? How did cancer hit him? And my mom was just always like wanting to know. She would search it up and she would never find respuestas. And until she was like, you know what, like, I'm gonna vlog this to show other people that go through that, or like, because él tenía como, it was a cancer that was rare. It was like leukemia, no sé qué. It was leukemia, something like that.
Like it was like a rare cancer.
Yeah, it was a rare cancer que my mom would look up y no salía. So my mom would just start like recording to like anyone that went through that. She wanted to show everything she went through in the hospital with him. And I feel like now my mom does blood drives to like help all the other kids that are in the hospitals. Because when we were in the hospital, like he needed the blood transfusions and like just stuff like that now like we're blessed to bless other people,
How did you feel, when you guys were doing these great things, growing up? Obviamente de chiquita you were seeing like, oh, we're doing a toy drive, a blood drive. ¿Cómo te hacía sentir eso? Do you feel like that would kind of heal you a little bit?
Yeah, because we would go to the children's hospital and hand out gifts to like the little kids that were in their stages, that were like in their first stage, like barely entering the hospital. And honestly, I feel like it would break my heart. I'd be like, oh, like this little girl doesn't know what she's gonna like go through in life. When we would do blood drives and like toy drives like that, I feel like I would just be so happy because every little gift, like every kid that's in the hospital, they're just there suffering. And I feel like a little toy will make them happy. Because, like, my little brother, they would give him a gift and he would be so happy. Honestly, I love, like, when my mom does stuff like that. Like, to help out other people. Because one day we were there too,
It really is beautiful, how you guys really have turned this really, sad moment in sus vidas into something so beautiful where you guys still want to help other people that are in that situation, Obviamente ahorita tienen su tienda Sebastian Aiden, donde ustedes venden ropa. Ahí las miro en los envíos a la Candy, hasta el Nestor y ustedes también. Yes. How did that come about? What made you guys be like, you know what? We want to create a clothing boutique and we want to name it after our brother because our brother means so much to us. What was that? How did that come to be?
I feel like my mom always wanted to do something. My mom's a hustler. My parents are always hustling. My mom siempre quiso algo and gracias a Dios se dio la tienda, especially under Sebastian's name. But I do feel like we get a lot of hate because of that, and especially because it's Sebastian, They be judging us.
¿En qué manera los juzgan?
We're using him. And I'm like, that was my sibling. Like, yeah. That was my mom's son. Like, I feel like my mom could post her son if she wants. My mom could do anything. But ya sabes cómo es la gente. They just...
And I feel like at the end of the day, your mom could have named the boutique any other name and it would probably still have the same success. Yes. But, she wanted to give it that name to really hold your brother's legacy.
And I love that name.
I do too. Aiden. I think it's cute. Like, where's your clothing from? Sebastian Aiden. Literally. Yeah. Tiene como un bonito tono. Mm-hmm. How do you feel and how do you react cuando la gente, because I feel like now a little bit less, but I feel like at the beginning, especially, because a lot of your guys' upbringing online did come from, you guys documented your brother's, passing and your guys' life after his passing. How would you guys deal and how would you deal when you guys would get hate like that?
Yeah, back then I would get really sad. Sí estaba más chiquita. I didn't know how to like take hate. Now I don't care what anyone says. I feel like I just laugh If you guys write a hate comment, I laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, look what they said. We make fun of it and bye. Like, now, I don't care.
You know, hablando de tu hermanito and, you know, of his legacy, is there moments now where you like are going through things y él te da como signs that he's there? Have you ever had a moment where you're like, you know what? This happened to me. This would never happen to me. Normally, I feel like it's my brother trying to tell me something or guide me. Have you had a moment like that? If so,
Yeah,
cuéntanos.
I feel like every time something's about to happen, like, I'm not trying to expose myself too much, but like, say something happens, like, I go somewhere else and I come back and the accident already happened. And I'm just like, imagine I was here. Like, and that's happened to me like 5 times already. And I'm just like, it's my brother telling me, like, girl, get out of here. Like you don't belong here.
cuidándote.
Yeah. Ha pasado that, like, say I'm at a party and I'm like, I just don't want to get off. I don't want to get off. And I leave and that happens. And I'm like, imagine I was there.
Like something crazy happens at the party?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
something crazy happens at the party. And I'm just like, imagine I was there. Like, God told me and my little brother told me, like, girl, get out of here. But like him showing signs and like, you know how like sometimes they be turning out the little lies, stuff like that? No, nunca me ha pasado.
What piece of advice can you give anyone watching at home that is currently going through the loss of someone and feels like it'll never get better?
I feel like you just need to stay strong. Obviously, you're gonna feel sad, weak. But it's okay to cry. Yo soy bien llorona, yo pa todo lloro. I don't know, I'm such a crybaby, but it's okay, let it out. El tiempo cura todo. Obviously, I still get sad. It's already been like 8 years. Yeah, I feel like just stay united with your family. I feel like that's how I made myself feel a little better, like just being with my family, just being with them, knowing that even if we lost our little brother, we're still gonna all be here together.
Making money moves should be easy, and that's why there's Cash App. It's fast, safe, and honestly just way more personalized than any other app out there. No extra hoops to jump through, no extra stress. All of the tools are right there to help you cash in. Plus, sending money with Cash App actually feels safe because they look out for you. If something seems sketchy or they see that you might be sending money to a potential scammer, they will warn you and make sure you think twice before you hit send. It's like having a personal bodyguard for your cash. You can even spice up your payments with custom text, stamps, and backgrounds. If for whatever insane reason you don't already have Cash App, just download it from your phone's app store, sign up, and enter our code Alannized in your profile. Send $5 to a friend and you'll get 10 just for getting started. Si ustedes me siguen en mis plataformas, I'm always doing Cash App giveaways y a mí me encanta, amigas, porque nomás agarro sus usernames, lo pongo en mi telefonito y les mando su dinerito rápido. For a limited time only, new Cash App users can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. For real, there's no catch. Just download Cash App and sign up. Use our exclusive referral code Alannized in your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms may apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Quiero platicar un poquito de cómo era la Melody en la escuela. Cuéntanos un poquito más. ¿Eras estudiosa? ¿Eras burra, peleonera? Cuéntanos cómo eras tú en la escuela, amiga.
Well, I grew up in Phoenix. I went to school over there my whole life. Well, besides what I told you guys in Cali, I hated school. I don't know, it just wouldn't click in my head. The teacher would tell me something, I'd be like, ¿qué dijo? Or like, I don't know, I feel like si alguien me dice algo, se me entra y se me sale. I just never really liked school. I did try, but I didn't like it.
Were you considered like popular or like the outcast in school?
In middle school, no. I used to get bullied in middle school. They used to bully me.
Why?
Because I was that bitch.
You're like, period.
They knew I was going to be.
Y que soporten. Wait,
No.
so you would suffer like a lot of bullying from like girls
they would
or
bully
just...
me and my sister.
¿Por
My
qué?
sister mostly. I don't know, because girls were just so, like, just so mean. And I feel like we said this in the last podcast and we kind of got hate for it, but girls hated us for things they thought we had. And, ni tenía nada. I was like, I didn't even have a phone. And they would hate on me. Say, porque ellos tenían iPhones y yo tenía un Samsung. They would be like, oh, you live in that house and you can't afford an iPhone.
Like, no, que muy rica.
Yeah, I'm like, my mom's the one with the money. I'm just a daughter. And I'm not saying like, oh, we were rich, this and that. No, but my mom worked for, for what quería en la vida. They were just always about brands and stuff like that. And if you didn't have it, girl, you can't hang out with us. So siempre nos hacían a un lado. I mean, especially because of guys. Girls are like that over there. Everyone in Phoenix is a mean girl.
Did you ever
over
have
there.
situations where a girl wanted to get down with you?
Oh, yeah.
Porque cuéntanos ese chisme.
I feel like freshman year, because this girl liked this one boy, but he would walk me to class. I mean, girl, keep your little boyfriend. But yeah, I don't know. It just... Y eran mis amigas. Yeah.
Wait, your own friends would bully you?
No, that was... Well, when I used to get bullied... So when I used to get bullied, that was in 8th grade. And then I got to freshman year, and it was like my friends in middle school went to another school. Okay. And I went to another school. So I didn't really see no one that would bully me over there. I remember high school. Cuando entré, I remember I ended up fighting. I fought over a guy. Well, he walked up to me y me trajo toda la escuela. Imagine? I was like, oh no. So it was 3 of us. It was me and my 2 friends, and my other friend, she liked this one boy. But ella no me dijo till after, like we were, like, I wasn't talking to him. He would just walk me to class and, like, you know, when you, like, walk me to class, this and that. And she would be like, oh, like, he walks you to class and this and that. Like, I like him. And I'm like, okay, you could keep him. Like, I don't care. But she already had a boyfriend. And I was like, oh, me having a boyfriend is still liking someone
you're
else.
Still jealous, girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're worrying about the wrong man.
I know. Like, girl, worry about your man. But yeah, así quedó. Like, ella no me quiso because of a guy. And the other friend that was my friend, she was like, oh, you're talking shit about me. And I was like, first of all, this has nothing to do with you. She doesn't like me because of him, and you just want to fight with me just to be on her side, you know? So así quedó. And we were in the same class too. And I remember they would pick on me in class. Last tenía. Y no, yo nunca me dejaba.
And they approached you after school? How did that happen?
Yeah, because I was walking, and I remember that day everyone's like, hey, te va a agarrar. And I was like, I don't care. Like, let her come up to me. And that's when I was waiting right there, and the bell rang. And I had them last hour. That's when I go to last hour, and I heard them. We all had to, like, partner up. I would always partner up with them. And they partnered up with another girl, and I had to partner up. Pues con los niños, porque...
Ya no tenías de otra?
I'm like, I didn't have no one else to go with. I just remember we were, like, doing, like... Well, our work, and I just remember hearing Melody, and then I was like, bitch, what? And she's like, bitch, no one's talking about you. And I'm like, dude, I could fucking hear you, you know? And that's when the teacher was like, Melody, calm down, this and that. Y ya que nos fuimos, I remember going downstairs with, like, my sister. We used to all hang out in a bolita after school, and I remember that's when I see her, and I saw all of my school coming to me. And I was like, oh, no, aquí me van a agarrar.
You're like, aquí va a haber pleito.
Yeah, aquí, I don't know. I was
Were
just
you
like,
scared at that moment? Was that like your first fight?
No.
Okay, so ya tenías experiencia tú. You're like, que venga, aquí la espero.
Like, girls would always be mean to me. Que me deje, no. And yeah, I remember just her walking up to me, and she was just talking shit. She's like, I heard you were talking shit about me. I was like, I told her the same thing. I was like, no one's talking shit about you. You just don't like me because of your friend. And yeah, that's when everything happened. Nos peleamos, and they sent me to the office. But the principal me quería mucho. And yeah, y cada vez que me miraba me hacía así, like, are you ready to fight?
¿Y quién ganó? Mira, yo quiero saber eso.
No, yeah, pues nadie ganó. It was like, yo sí la agarré. Yo sí la deschongué. But her cousin had grabbed her. Y pues, ella no me tocó or nothing. So I remember we went back to school after getting suspended. And she would tell everyone, oh, she wants a round 2. And I'll be like, she's mad. Like,
you're like, yo ni quiero nada. Yeah,
like,
move on.
Tengo miedo.
You're like, moving on to the next.
That was my fight at school. And that was my last because I don't really like to be peleonera. Only if I have to.
You start doing social media at a young age. In your point of view, how did all of that start? ¿Te recuerdas el momento que tu mamá dijo, ¿sabes qué? We're going to start family vlogging. Melody, Nikki, ustedes van a ser characters in el vlog. What was that like? How did the whole, starting YouTube start?
I just remember doing, like, pranks. We started doing pranks. Since then, like, we just started doing videos. I remember doing this little wood intro we had. And since then, I was like, okay, this is for real then. Like, we're doing this, Since I was 14, my whole life, I grew up seeing a camera.
Did you like it growing up? Or did you kind of feel like at points like, fuck, I don't want to even be on film?
Yeah, at first I didn't want to. At first I was like, why is my mom recording me? Like, I would feel, like, weird. Now I love it, actually. Like, a mí me gusta. I grew up I
on
grew
camera.
up on camera.
Is there
being
ever
online.
videos that you look back at now and you're like, oh my God, I'm cringing so bad. Like,
all
why
of
the
them.
fuck was this recorded? You're like, todos, no los quiero ver.
I'm like,
literally, I was telling Melody right now, you guys, that I literally cringe so hard at my old videos because I'm like, bitch, like, why were you acting like that? Like, people always tell me, like, oh, I miss the old Alan. I'm like, bitch, not me. I'm like, not me. Because I cringe so hard at my videos y no me reconozco. Like, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing acting? Like, do you have a moment like that where you look back and you're like, what the fuck was I doing?
Yes, I feel like when all that, the mujerón stuff, oh no, that's like, it cringes me out till now. Even like, why did they call me that? Like,
Literally, when you were
ew.
like, what, 16?
I know, yes, like, mujerón, ew, why would you guys call me that?
Did you guys ever have anyone, friends, family, that were like, ay, ¿qué están haciendo? Que se agarran un trabajo? Like, did you guys ever have people not believe in your guys' vision?
I feel like everyone around us, my dad, my biological dad, my mom's mom. Sorry to expose you guys. Everyone would tell my mom, like, what are you doing? Like, get a job, this and that. Like, you're wasting your time. And hasta ahora quieren salir en nuestros videos.
You're like, can I get a job now in the video?
I feel like everyone did doubt my parents. And like, when I see them, I'm just like, oh, like, ellos trabajaron tanto to be at where they're at right now. My mom would record 24/7. She would edit 24/7. I never saw my mom not doing...
Like working.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that kind of motivated you? Like, oh shit, like even though the type of job she's doing is a little different than like your traditional 9 to 5, did that ever motivate you? Like, oh shit, like even though it's a different type of job, siempre la miro, you know, working. Did that motivate you too to be like, you know what, I want to be just like my mom?
Yeah, I feel like it did. Just seeing my mom like record herself, and I feel like it was just fun. Like looking at the vlogs too, like it's just fun. Like it's working, but like you're working on something you love. So yeah, like seeing my mom do that, I feel like it's something she loves doing. So it's not really work.
How do you feel like you deal with the haters now and then? Do you feel like they have ever gotten to you?
Yes, back then I used to cry. When I started, I used to cry. Like I used to be like, oh my God, like, is it true? Is it like, I used to just cry. And now I'm like, what the hell was I doing? Like, I don't care. Si miro algo, I just make fun of it.
When was the last time you needed to go to the doctor but pushed it off? Maybe made an excuse like, I'm too busy, it'll heal on its own, or I don't even know which doctor to go to? I think we've all been there because booking a doctor's appointments can feel so daunting. But thanks to Zocdoc, there's no reason to delay. They make it so easy to find and book a doctor who's right for you. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to settle anymore when it comes to finding the right doctor. With Zocdoc, you've got options. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, are located nearby, and are a good fit for any medical need you may have, and are highly rated by verified patients. Appointments made through Zocdoc also happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointment. The next time I need to book my doctor's appointments, I know where to go. If I had needed this before, it's what I'd use. Stop putting off those doctor appointments and go to Zocdoc.com/Alan to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That is ZocDoc.com/Alan. That is Zocdoc.com/Alan. La Mujerón, you recently got, your dream surgery, which I feel like getting a BBL has been something that you have always talked about.
I always wanted
and
that.
You recently te sometiste and you got your surgeries. Cuéntanos un poquito más of when did you started being like, you know what, I want to get a BBL, I want to get a BBL. And why was it finally the right time this time que te la hiciste?
I feel like I wanted my body done since desde chiquita. I don't know, I wanted it I don't know. I just wanted my body done. I remember I was going to do my body when I had turned 18. Pero no se me hizo because I got really depressed and I had so much anxiety and I lost so much weight. So I wasn't able to I'm sure you guys seen oh my God, I was so anorexic. I didn't feel like myself. Literally the beginning of the month, January, es cuando me operé. And December, I was like, should I just do my body? I would tell my mom, I'd be like, Mom, should I just do my body? And she'd be like, no, just wait. And I'd be like, you know what? No, I'm just going to go because if not, nunca me va a dar las ganas de ir. So January this year is cuando me operé.
Do you feel like growing up you were insecure about your body and that's why you wanted to like get it done, or was it just something like, me vale verga para mi cuerpo, pero yo me miro bien culona? Like, or do you feel like social media also kind of pressured you into like feeling or looking a certain way?
No, it's just pues no tenía nada, so I was like I did have hips and that, I just didn't have boobs, and I feel like I just no sé, yo quería que algo me colgara aquí. And yeah.
How was surgery day like? Do you remember el día de la surgery? Were you scared? Walk us through the whole process del día que llegas al hospital y te dicen, mija, ahorita te vamos a dormir y vas a amanecer toda bien culona. What was that like?
We had stayed in Cali because we had to drive to Mexico, TJ. I remember that day en la mañanita me tuve que levantar. We actually stayed in Cali and we had to drive from Cali to Tijuana. Like at 8 in the morning, and Nicole and my cuñado me llevaron ese día. I remember getting there, I was super nervous. Honestly, I wasn't nervous about like getting my body done. I was just nervous of like dying, like knowing like, oh my God, what if like I'm gonna die here, you know? Honestly, my body didn't hurt like getting it, because you know how some people have like different...
What did you get done all at once? Because you got a lot of things done all at once,
I did everything. I did my breasts, I did lipo and ABBL. Yeah, I did have pain, but like on my hips, my boobs, I didn't feel nothing. Nothing.
They say that the boobs are like an easy recovery, no?
Well, for my sister said that they hurt bad. I was like, girl, I didn't feel nothing.
They also were gonna do your
oh my God,
yes, I remember seeing that. Were you mad when you woke up? You're like, ¿por qué? Why is it still here?
I know, I'm like, sleep me again. They didn't write it down on the board, because I remember that day you have to go and like te ponen cosas like all over your body, and like they have to prep you before you get your body done. And I remember looking at the board, because like I was just looking around. I remember the board saying my breasts, the lipo, and my BBL, and I was like, where's the chin though? But no dije nada, because I was like, oh, they're doctors, like I already paid for it, like they know what they're doing, you know? And like se me quedó grabado en mi mente like before getting surgery. And my sister said that when I was already in the bed, that I woke up, I don't remember saying this though, when I was in the bed and I woke up like for the first time, I was like, oh my God, like did they do my chin? Like I was just
that was
thinking,
the first thing?
yeah, I was thinking that. And cuando miró, pues no. And well, they gave me back my money. Eso sí.
You don't have like a crazy double chin though. I feel like you look really good. I do remember cuando primerito enseñaste tu cuerpo, everyone was like, oh my God, it looks crazy big. I thought it looked really good because I know how like the recovery process is. Did that affect you in the beginning?
Yeah, a little bit. I'd be like, oh my God.
Like did you think like, oh my God, is it too big?
Yeah, because they would be like, oh my God, parece señora. And I'd be like, oh my God, like, do I? But I feel like I would just overthink because of what they would say, but I love my body since...
No, you look good.
Yeah, since that day, I just love my body. Like, even till now, I'm just like, if they make fun of me, I'm like, you're hating, because I'm like, no pague tanto pa que me dejen toda botched.
How much did you pay? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, I paid around 14.
Do you feel like the recovery was hard? Because I've heard that, you know, BBL is one of those hardest, you know, surgeries to recover from. What do you feel like was the hardest thing to recover from when it came to all your surgeries?
Well, I feel like my body didn't really hurt because I had the medication. But yeah, when it would like wear off, oh my God, my hips like would hurt because they were like all like moreteados. Like everything else, it didn't really hurt. It's just I had anxiety. Porque a mí siempre me pega como anxiety. So me pegó. I was just throwing up. Imagine having like everything cut up and just throwing up.
Would
like,
it hurt?
Yes, I was so skinny también. Like apart of that, they already did the lipo. I was throwing up everything. Like everything I would eat, I would throw it up. I don't know. I love my body though. I'm actually so happy I did it. I feel like if anyone wants to go do it, go do it. You won't regret it. And I feel like because I went to a good doctor as well, because I researched this guy up.
How long were you researching for?
I'm like 2 months.
I like a week. Like the week I made the appointment. Bitch. You're like on TikTok.
Even my sister went to go do her body done there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my tía también. And my mom's friend, she's gonna do her body there too.
Your mom didn't go to that doctor, right?
No, she
was
went...
she scared to be like, ay, no sé con quién te voy a llevar vibes?
Yeah, it's because she didn't want me to go in Mexico. But I was like, girl, I'm gonna be safe. And I wanted to go in Mexico too because like I have friends that have done their body and me han dicho that in Mexico like the medication is más fuerte allá. So I was like, okay, I'm doing everything. When they told me that, I was like, I'm doing everything then if I'm not gonna feel it. My mom's the one que me dijo, she's like, no, estás loca, like no. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, I'm still gonna do it.
You're like, give it to me. Denmelo. You look fucking amazing.
Thank
I feel
you.
like everyone at home también lo sabe y lo mira. Men's skincare routines are usually non-existent. If the guy in your life is still splashing water on his face and calling it a day, It's time for an upgrade into the Skin Ultra Advanced Kit from Manscaped, a 3-step daily skincare routine made specifically for men. It's simple, effective, and doesn't take more than a few minutes a day. Think of it as the self-care without the fluff, just clear results. Whether you're shopping for your partner, brother, friend, or gently hinting it's time they stepped up their skincare game, this is the ultimate no-nonsense upgrade. Over 12 million men trust Manscaped. Join them and use code ALLEN for 15% off your entire order at manscaped.com. The Ultra Skin Advanced Kit includes 4 premium products: the Face Buffer Pro Electric Face Scrubber, an exfoliating face wash, a brightening vitamin C serum, and a hydrating moisturizer. I love Manscaped, amigas. Apenas este fin de semana para el Día del Padre yo le regalé the skincare set a mi papá y él está bien emocionado de usarlo, amigas, and I feel like I'm so excited for him as well because I feel like sometimes skincare is something men try to stay away from porque pues ustedes ya saben. So upgrade his skincare game with the Skin Ultra Advanced Kit from Manscaped. This is the kind of gift he didn't know he needed but won't stop using. Get 15% off with code ALLEN at manscaped.com. That is 15% off with code ALLEN at manscaped.com. Pero yo quiero platicar de cómo le va en el amor a la Melody. Obviamente te hemos visto, you've had 2 very public relationships, but ¿cómo te va en el amor ahorita? Are you currently dating? Are you looking? Or is love off the table for you?
Yeah, it's off the table. I'm like,
really?
Scoot that over there. I don't know. I feel like everything I've gone through with my past relationship, I'm like, if you look at me, don't look at me, turn around. I did talk to someone, and I feel like now that's the reason why I don't want to talk to no one else. Because after my relationship, I was talking to someone, but it didn't work out because of our past relationships. I feel like now I don't want nothing with no one. I feel like everything I do or post, everyone just gets in the way. Cuando Dios quiera y me quiera regalar un barboncito guapo, ahí.
Do you feel like it's gotten harder for you to date being like in the public eye?
Yeah, I feel like I can't even go out to a party because everyone knows who I'm talking to. Oh, Melody was here with this person, and 5 people call me, oh, were you with this person? They told me, si tengo un amigo, like, everyone thinks I'm dating that person, or I'm like, no.
Me estabas contando, ayer about a casi algo. Is this the same casi algo that you were mentioning right now? Cuéntanos un poquito más de eso. ¿Cómo se conocieron, and why didn't things end up working out?
Well, we met on Instagram. I would, hear his music, but it was, one out of, and it was a long time ago. It has nothing to do. And I remember just one day I was I was just bored on my phone, and I had followed that person, and they followed me back, and I was like, oh my god, he's so cute, And we just started talking, pero él me mandó mensaje a mí primero. He would tell me, oh, good morning. Every day, it was a good morning, this and that. And I was like, oh, well, he's trying to talk to me, he wants to have a conversation every day. So I was like, okay, we started talking, and he doesn't live right there. He lived out of state, so I would travel, and then he would come. But it was, literally only one time. Porque ni duramos, I can say we did talk for a while, but, to go and visit each other, así no, because of social media. Because I had posted him on social media, and our past relationships didn't let us work out. They would just be online, always just talking and talking. Yeah, me, I'm saying, I wasn't really on social media. I would just let them talk, and I don't know, it was just so much drama for me that I was like, well, if they're gonna keep butting in, I don't want to be in a thing.
Did you make that decision?
Yeah.
Was it hard?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Sorry.
You're he's calling.
It's him.
You're let me fucking answer. Hey, babe. Do you feel like you were falling for him already, or at least catching feelings?
Yeah, we were talking already for 2-3 months, and I just stopped talking to him. I was like, you know what? I don't want a thing. And I tried it again. We started talking, and then I stopped talking to him. It's because, I don't know, yo soy de las personas que, I don't really answer that fast. And then I would be partying. That's when I barely started partying. Last year, no, 2 years ago, ya was it. I started partying, so, when he would wake up, I'd barely be getting home. So it wasn't working out.
It was too much.
Yeah, he'd be like, oh, why don't you answer me, this and that. I'm like, honey, I'm partying.
You're I'm barely getting home, babes. He's on his way to work, you're on your way to go to sleep. Literally.
Yeah, so it just didn't work out. I wish it worked out, but
Oh, si estás viendo esto, I'm like, hit her up.
Yeah, call me.
Literally, hablando del amor y de las relaciones, me estabas contando también anoche that a couple years back you had a friend que se metió con uno de tus exes. ¿Verdad? El la Melody vino con todo el chisme. Cuéntanos de eso. ¿Cómo pasó? ¿Cómo te enteraste? Cuéntanos todo ese chisme, amiga.
I was in a relationship. That relationship was super toxic. Long story short, my sister had a best friend and they were friends in like 4th grade. We would have sleepovers. They would come to our house. We would go to their house. Like we were always, every day we would be with them. Their parents knew my parents. My sister was like best friends with one sister and I was like best friends con la otra.
Okay.
I'm like, pues ya estaba ahí, so we had to be best friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I loved them. We were so close. And that's when we started working together at the store Sebastian Aiden. Y trabajamos todos ahí. Hasta yo me traje, well, like the guy I was talking to, like to give him a job too. And that's when like we would always travel over here. Like we would always be going back and forth. There was a time that we had a house here in Cali. And because we would always be here. So when we would leave, like, because I would work at the store, I would leave him there working. And I don't know, like maybe como que agarraron algo ahí, no sé. Long story short, it was the day of my little sister Angelique's birthday party. I remember I would always get anxiety. Ay, es que ese siempre me daba, like, we were just always fight. So it was just...
Tú y tu ex.
Yeah, it was just so bad all the time. And I remember that day me dio como anxiety because I already had seen messages, like, going back and forth, them adding him on Snapchat, stuff like that. And I would always confront, but like, I was dumb. Por eso no me quiero enamorar otra vez.
Wait, you would tell the girl, like, hey, why are you talking to my man? Type of shit? ¿Y qué te decía?
No, I would never do this to you. You already know. And my head would be like, stop lying. Like, I seen it with my own eyes. And that's when, but él también le picaba a ellas. So the party, I was already, like, I didn't like them. And I told my sister, like, don't invite them. Because if you invite them, like, I'm going to beat their ass here. No, but I was just saying that just para que no vinieran. But my sister was, like, really close to them. So my sister, like, was, like, she didn't know what side to be on. And it's not that she didn't want to be on my side. It was just, like, so, like, she would see him picking on them too, So she was like, girl, like, it's both.
And at that time, todavía no estaba nada confirmado that they were doing shit.
Deep down, I just didn't like them already. Like, if I looked at them, I would not say hi. And they knew. Like, ellas sabían. I'm like, si estás mirando, tú sabías. Yeah, so I remember that day I wasn't feeling good. And I went upstairs, like I was throwing up. I would always throw up. Like I would feel something, I would run and throw up. Like that's why I was so skinny. And I was throwing up upstairs. And I remember he was looking for me that day. I was in my sister's room throwing up. And that's when I was like, oh, can you just go get me a water? Like I'm just so thirsty. And he goes to get me a water. He takes literally 20 minutes to go get water. Obviously, everyone's toxic, I go and, like, I'm, like, peeking. Like, I'm like, where is he? And he's, like, waiting right there, like, in the, like, next to it. Because we have a restroom downstairs. And I was like, why would he wait downstairs in the restroom when I have a restroom in my room? My sister has a restroom in her room. Like, I'm like, why are you? And everyone was downstairs using that restroom. So to me, I was like, why are you using a dirty restroom,
Yeah.
That day, I remember him, like, someone opens the door, and I remember seeing him walk in. Like, he gets up. He was on his phone. He closes it, looks around, and goes in the restroom. And I was like, like, what the hell? And I was like, oh, hell no.
Y él didn't cuenta that you were watching
No, he didn't know, because I was looking from the top. And because we have, like, the stairs, like, it goes around. So I ran. Ooh, I was running. And I remember going down the stairs. And when I went down the stairs, her cousin, she saw me. And I was going down the stairs. She saw me. And she ran to that restroom. And she knocked. No me acuerdo. Because, like, once you get down the stairs, it's, like, a curve. So you can't see no more. And I remember getting down there. My sister's friend was already out the restroom. And she was, like, all nervous. She was, like, all red. And, like, her hair was... She was blacked out. I don't know. So that's when I asked her. I'm like, hey, where's... And she's like, huh? Like, she's confused, like, huh? Like, what happening? And I'm like, and I screamed at her, remember? I was like, where is he? And then, like, I look in the palavar, no está ahí. I look in the garage, no está ahí. And I'm like, ¿dónde está este? Like, se metió aquí, And that's when, like, I walk back and I look at her. I remember making a face to her. Like, I mugged her. And then he opens the door and he's, like, putting up his zipper, I remember. And I was like, why do you use a restroom here? I'm like, I have a restroom upstairs. And, like, I just remember her being, like frozen like that. And, like, we just go upstairs and, like, No se le hice de pedo ahí. I like, but when we got to my room, like, I just remember us fighting and him telling me, like, that was crazy. Like, he would always,
like gaslight
yeah,
you?
gaslight me so much. He's like a good gaslighter. But yeah, él me dijo que no, que nunca pasó nada. Así se quedó. We fought everything. De todo pasó en ese cuarto. I remember I was so sad those days. Then after that happened, I forgave him. Because I was like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe
Like,
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I was just, okay, maybe no.
¿Le hiciste pancho a tu hermana? Like, tu puta amiga.
No, I had told my sister though. I was like, hey, like this happened. Like I told her, I was like, I swear, like I saw something, but maybe I'm wrong, and maybe, you know. She's like, no, like my sister's always just trying to like be there for me. So that had happened. That was one of the three que pasó. And another time was they would like text each other. Like they would make fake accounts and like text each other. Cause when I already had caught them, ella to try, cause he would text her. So for her to like cover up herself, porque yo ya sabía, she would like start snitching on him. And she would start telling my sister like, hey, this person texted me. I don't know who it is, but this person texted me. You know, haciéndose. And obviously it was him. And like I confronted him. That was the last day, actually. Well, there was like I'm sure that there was other times and I forgave him like always. Then this was the last time that he actually texted her. And that day, like I was, because we have stopped talking for like 3 days, I remember. And out of those 3 days, instead of looking for me, he went to go look for my sister's friend again. And that's when he's like, hey, he says his name, doesn't put one letter and acts like we don't know his name. And I was like, dude, like, I remember my sister, she goes in my room and she's like, hey, like, all sad. And I'm like, I was already, like, throwing up, feeling like shit. Like, I was in my bed crying, everything. And she's like, hey, I have to tell you something. And I'm like, oh, my God, like, what did he do now? Like, I already know it's him. Like, what did he do? And she's like, look. And she shows me, and it's messages, like, him on a fake account texting her.
¿Y qué le decía? Like flirting
hey,
vibes?
why are you a snitch? Why, stop snitching, this and that. And she's like, oh, I don't know who you are, this and that. Like, girl.
Ay, no te hagas.
No te hagas.
Pendeja no eres. O a lo mejor sí porque la cacharon. So pendeja sí era.
But yeah, and I remember that day, I was like, hey, don't tell my mom though, because I'm so embarrassed if my mom finds out. Like, if my mom finds out, it's like, my mom's gonna talk shit and be like, you know how your parents are. So I'd be like, don't tell my mom. She's like, oh, I already told her. I'd be like, dude, like.
You're like, chismosa.
I know, I'm like, chismosa. I'm like, vete de aquí. No, yeah, it's because, I don't know, I feel like we tell my mom everything, so to me, that was embarrassing. Like, knowing someone I let around my family for like 3 years do that to me, and especially with someone that I loved and that was my friend, and she used to work for us.
Yeah.
She used to be our model for the store, so that's even crazier.
That is crazy.
Yeah, she pulled the
like the Jordie Woods,
yeah,
like the Kylie Jenner.
Yeah.
Wait, did you guys cut her off after? Wait, cuéntanos. Okay, so the last time, what was that last time que nos estabas contando?
Okay, I was like, okay, like I was like, send me the screenshot, like I'm gonna go talk to him, and my sister's like, no, like just leave it alone, like just leave him, and I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I love him. And I was like, no, like, I'm going to go talk to him, you know? I ended up going to his house. I went to look for him because I wanted him to, like, tell me, like, why, you know?
Yeah, like, explícame.
Yeah, I'm like, te voy a deschongar aquí. No, but I was like, why? Like, why did you do that to me? Like, I was always there. I feel like I was the guy in the relationship. I'm like, yo te di todo, yo te mantení. Literally, I did. Why, you know? And especially with someone that, like, I loved. Like, I love those girls. Like, they're my best friends. Like, I would tell them everything we would go through. Like, they would tell us, we would tell them. So for them to do that to me, it was so heartbreaking. That day, I ended up going to his house. I knocked on his door. He didn't answer me. His mom answered me, and she told me that he was in there.
¿Y si estaba?
Yeah, I was crying. I was like, please, like, I just want to talk to him. And she's like, no, es que no está. And I'm like, sí está. I'm like, girl, I have his location. And then she's like, she goes inside. She's like, okay, ahorita vengo. And that's when he comes, and he was just like, what? Like, what do you want? And I'm like, you cheated on me? That's what I want? Like, I want to know. And that's when I enter, and, like, I was just crying. And because I was already, like, done, like, you know, like, when
you just wanted like closure.
Yeah, I just wanted to be done. And I remember his mom gave me water, and she was like, toma para que te calmes. I remember, like, I was like, so was it you, like, on that account? And he was like, no. The whole time he was just saying no, no, no. And I was like, I know it was you. And when, like, I was talking to his mom, like, he was just in the corner deleting it. Because when I went to go look, it wasn't there no more. And I'm like, you deleted it. And I was like, why? Like, I was just saying why. And he ended up finally telling me, like, yes. He was like, yes, it was me. And that water bottle que me dio la mamá se lo tiré, like se lo estrellé. And I remember, like, yeah, that's wrong of me, but imagine finding out, like, him actually, like, telling you, yes, I did that.
Is that the same occasion from that one video donde andabas en el carro toda loqueando la troquera locochón? Was that that same instance or no?
No, that was probably after I was still begging him to be with me.
Really? Why do you think you kept going back? Do you feel like it was...
I was already with him for like 3 years, 3.5. I was with him for such a long time, and
Ya estabas en puesta.
yeah. But yeah, after I had threw him that water bottle, I remember his mom told me like, "Hey, I gave you that water bottle pa que te lo tomes, no pa que se lo andes tirando." And I remember,
Like, cállese porque también va usted. Ah, imagine.
oh no, I did.
Oh, you did to the mom?
It's because when she did that, when I threw the water bottle, ella me vino y me agarró. Like she grabbed this hand like so hard. She like grabbed me like that. I thought she was gonna hit me because I did that. And with this hand, I just le pegué. And I didn't mean to.
Man, lady.
I'm like, oops, sorry. Okay, I know it's not funny. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. The fuck? I'm not sorry. I'm glad I did that. And I know it's wrong, but she would always be mean to me. She was like those ladies that would just...
Like a bad suegra.
Yeah, like, ¿y esas uñas por qué las traes? Y puedes hacer esto, and can you cook for my son, and can you do this? I'm like, honey, your son don't even know how to make money, so don't talk to me about cooking.
You're like, tell him to cook for me. I'm the man in the relationship.
I know. I'm like, I know how to make the money. He don't know how to cook. But yeah, that had happened, and he exposed that. I was never gonna say that because I just always felt bad for that. It wasn't my intention to hit her. She just, ella me tocó a mí primero, y pues that's how I reacted. I was lost, and I remember that. Like, I was lost. I was like confused. I was sad. Like, just so many feelings that day, I remember. First of all, you just don't put your hands on no one else. Like, si no quieres que te cacheteen. I didn't touch her first. Ella me tocó a mí, pues pasó eso. It wasn't my intention, but that's what happened. And after I left, I walked out. I just wanted to go home. And I tried calling my mom. I remember that day. And my phone had died, so I couldn't contact my sister. I couldn't let no one know what was happening. They were all outside ganging up on me, telling me, recording me, telling me that they were gonna expose me, telling me that I was gonna go to jail, this and that. So many stuff had happened. I really didn't care because my ex used to abuse me.
Yeah,
so,
you're like, I did what I did.
Yeah,
se lo
it was my turn.
Was that like the last time you guys like were together, or like volvieron a estar juntos?
No, there's other times where at first, like, I would beg him. I'd be like, please, like, I'm being straight up. I would beg him. I'd be like, please, like, we've been together for so long already. Like, I'm like, even though you beat me, I'm like, I will ignore that. Like, I would just try to forget about it. I'd be like, I won't ever talk about nothing. Y el que no. It's because he started to go out. And that's when he started talking to girls. Literally, not even a week after everything that had happened. And the girls would text me. Cosas así pasaban. It was so weird. And after, like, he started to give me the ick. I was like, okay, I'm over here begging you and you're over there, like, texting. Oh, he would text my friends too, like my old friends, like, try to hang out with them. And I'm like, I'm outside your house begging you.
Yeah.
And you're over there, like, looking for someone else. So that day, I just remember leaving. And I never looked for him again until I started collabing with other influencers. I don't know if when I would collab with Wilito, Oscar, Ortiz. And when I was collabing with everyone, honestly, after that, I feel like I had so much fun those days. Like, I felt new again. Like, I felt like...
You're like, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. Like, I'm out of here. I'm out of this relationship. I was just so happy. And he started to see that. So that's when he started contacting me again, blowing me up, amenazándome.
Amenazándote that he was going to expose it?
Yeah, like, expose stuff, expose my address, expose my number, that they were going to do something to our cars, like, rayarlos. Like,
were you ever scared, obviamente, being a public figure? You're like, me vale, que diga lo que tenga que decir. You weren't ever scared, like, oh shit, like, he's going to put this online and people are going to attack me?
Honestly, I feel like the only thing I was scared of is posting videos of me acting how I would act. Because he would do something to me and I would go and, like, say hit him or something. Él me grababa.
I did. But he posted one,
yeah, but he would, like, provocarme a mí.
Yeah.
And that's when I would, like, take out my anger and he would record me.
Let's say, like, that video, when it came out, did you get anxiety at first? Like, oh my God, like, what the fuck? Because I do remember seeing that video.
When he exposed that, I was like, damn.
You're like, fuck, it's done.
I was like, damn. He really... And I feel like I was just like, damn, because, like, I feel like that was the saddest day of my life, that day. The tope.
The tope.
No, it's because that day, the tope. Okay, so the story of the tope is that day. I remember me begging him. Those were one of the days I was begging him, and I remember he would laugh in my face. Like he would just laugh, and like I'd be like, dude, like nothing's funny. And I remember like that day, he said he was gonna go with someone else, and pues yo le pisé, pues no sabía que había tope y pues boom. I would leave and he would record me. Like he would just always record me, like to see my reaction at last, to see how I would act. Y pues obviously como loca andaba.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like those were the last days.
What was the moment for you donde como te entró en la cabeza? ¿Sabes qué? Ya estuvo bueno, Melody. Ya no tienes que andar de rogona. Chingue su madre el güey. Did you have like a moment where you realized? If so, what was that moment for you?
That day, I remember I was outside his house. The only way I could contact him was on Snapchat because he had blocked me on everywhere. He's like, stop bugging me. Like after everything that happened, I would still be there.
Like even after being public about the stuff?
No. After all that, I was like,
Like we're done.
Yeah, he still wanted to get back with me. And I was like, dude, you just exposed me everywhere. Like, do you think I'm going to be... Like, we exposed each other. You think I'm going to get back with someone?
Yeah, like I'm going to look stupid
now. I'm going to
look
stupid now.
Like, I'd rather look stupid en privado que enfrente de toda la gente. Yeah, you're like, once it's out, I'm done. Yeah.
So, yeah, that day, I remember I was texting him. I was like, hey, like, I'm outside your house. Can we talk? And he was like, no, I'm not home, this and that. And I was like, oh, well, like, where are you? I'll go to you. Like... I'm like, if you're in Dubai, I will drive to you, baby.
You're like, I will fly right now. Just let me know where you at.
Yeah, and I tried talking to him. He didn't want to. And I was waiting outside his house that day. My friend, that I stopped being friends with her because of him, she texted me. And she was like, hey, like, I know we haven't talked in a long time, but this person texted me. And I just want to, like, because she still thought we were dating, you know?
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, I just want to show you this. Y me lo enseñó, and it's him like, hey, what are you doing? Let's go out, this and that. And I'm like... I'm literally blowing him up, trying to hang out with him because he did that to me. And he was over there texting my other friend. And that day, I remember I was like, I just powered on my phone. I was like, I'm out of here. Like, I just drove off. And
like done.
And I was done. So say that was on a Monday. Then on a Saturday, that's when Wilito wanted to collab with me. And I didn't even know about Wilito. I didn't know him. He's the one that reached out to me. He actually como que se invitó a la fiesta. Because I was friends with this one girl y ella tenía un novio at the time. And they were coming to my little sister's party. This was her second birthday party.
Okay.
And that's when he had came and he was like, hey, we should collab, this and that. Y pues that day, the day of my sister's party, that's when we did videos. There's videos on TikTok and all that. Y pues sí,
no hablando.
And since then, like, I just started having fun. And he would just see that I would have fun, start blowing me up. And I was just like... Yo no te ocupo.
You're like, bye.
I'm like, bye, ya me encontré otro.
You're like, no sé por qué te rogaba tanto.
Yes.
Ni valía la pena, ¿verdad?
No. The day of when I caught them in the restroom, it was true. It was so true. And that day que me dijeron, I was like, I didn't even care no more. I was just like, I knew it.
How did you find out, like, for sure it was like a for sure?
Because he saw my tia at the mall and he went up to her and he was like trying to talk to her, like, hey, how are you? And she's like, we don't have this relationship no more, you know? Like, she told him a lot of stuff. Ella me dijo todo. She was like, oh, like, why would you do that to her? Or she was like, oh, because there was a camera there. They saw, like, that you went in the restroom and you guys kissed each other. Pero ella le estaba poniendo más salsa a los tacos porque nada pasó así.
A ver si sacaba.
Sacó de todo. That he was like, no, like, I didn't. She's the one that kissed me. Y le dijo, and he was like, that it did happen.
Se cachó el mismo.
Yep. And when I found out, like, damn. That's crazy. And I told my mom, I was like, I told you guys. I'm like, I knew it was a little crazy, but not that crazy.
Did your family, during that relationship, would they tell you, like, Melody, he's not the right for you? Y tú bien aferrada a él?
Mm-hmm, yeah, because my mom started noticing I would always throw up. I would never eat. I was getting so skinny. I would have so many bruises on me.
¿Y no le decías a ella lo que estaba pasando?
No. Like, when I would have bruises on me, I would wear, like, long sweaters. I would hide my body. If I had a freaking bruise right here, I would wear, like, choker, freaking los suéteres.
Para que no te miren.
Yeah, para que no me miraran.
Was that during the time that you lost a lot of weight?
Yeah.
Durante ese tiempo, you did mention that you would get a lot of hate. People would talk shit that you lost a lot of weight, que te miras. Sí, me acuerdo que la gente te decía que te mirabas malita, que qué estaba pasando. Would that kind of hurt you even more because they didn't know what was really going on?
Yeah, and I just, like, I wish I would tell people, but obviously I can't, like, like, he's beating me. Can you guys come save me? But yeah, it's because and now I feel like I make fun of every situation.
It's a trauma response. Like you gotta make fun of it. Yeah.
We're like that in the house. Like even the bump, like we make fun of it. My dad be like, you need to put on your... No, he's like, I need to put on my helmet when I'm with you. I make fun of everything I've gone through. Well, obviously not everything, but like, just to...
It's like a trauma thing. You know, hablando de exes, quiero platicar de algo que pasó recientemente. You know, you had another very public ex. You recently shocked... You know, all of TikTok and even myself, when I saw that clip on TikTok of you going live with this ex, I was like, no mames, ya regresaron, ¿qué está pasando? How did that happen? ¿Qué pasó? Are you guys talking, friends again? Tell us a little bit about that en vivo.
We are not talking. We will never date again, just to make it clear.
Friends, maybe?
No. Just, I see you. Hi. A little collaboration, a little experiment for the month. But no, I just did it just because. It's because I feel like Jose, como que, I feel like he still thinks there's something there.
Was that the first time you guys had talked after the breakup?
Oh, no. I've seen him at Mexico when I seen him. And we talked a little bit. He went online literally talking about me. And I was like, again? And then, like, I was trying to be cool with him. He no se dejó. Or, like, he was just mad that I was having fun. And... he basically wanted me as his girlfriend that day. And I'm like, no, we're not nothing, you know? Like, just because, like, I would hang out with other guys. He'd be like, oh, like, you're with me one day. The next day, you're with another one. And, like, I'm like, okay. I'm in Mexico. Like, I'm having fun. And it's not like I was doing stuff with him.
And you weren't even dating him anymore, right? Ya bien acabado.
Yeah, I wasn't doing nothing with no one. I was just there, like, having fun, dancing and stuff like that. Yeah, so he started talking about me again. And I remember, like, every time, like, he talks about me, I go on my phone and we write each other paragraphs, like, talking shit to each other.
Like, crashing out?
Yes. And recently... It's because I'm trying to remember.
I had seen que lo habías visto como en un baile, ¿no? Porque había visto que bailaron juntos after the breakup.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, en Peñasco. That's
okay.
Yeah, like we had dance. Él me invitó a una fiesta con banda y pues yo llegué. I'm like, pues no hay nada que hacer, vamos.
Chinga su madre,
I went with all my friends. Yeah, we danced that day. He ended up talking about me again on TikTok. And that's when, like, I wrote him a little message. I was like, stop talking about me. And then I remember. Okay, so... my birthday party, how I had my birthday party. He wanted to come. He texted me. He's like, hey, ¿qué quieres que te lleve de regalo el viernes? And I'm like, I didn't even answer him because how are you going to talk about me and then try to get invited to my party?
Yeah.
No, it does not work that way. I think he was live or... No, actually, that's when I started going live because I recently started going live on TikTok again. So I was live with someone and he was gifting me. And I was like, oh, thank you, Jose, you know? And that's when I think he was live and I think I did request him or es que no me acuerdo. I'm sure I did.
You're like, sepa cómo pasó, pero ahí anduvimos.
Yeah, and yeah, we just started going live. But there's no messages, like, I don't text him.
Like, it was just that one moment?
Yeah,
At the stage you are in your life, do you feel like you're able to be friends with any of your exes, or is that like a big no-no?
No, that's a no.
Do you think like, more with him or with your other ex? Like, si tuvieras que escoger, okay, you have to be friends with one of your exes, ¿cuál escogieras? Or did you end really bad with both of them?
I feel like I could be friends with Jose, but it just wouldn't work out because he's just... If I talk to someone else, he will just talk shit to me.
Like he's like, yo la quiero, yo la quiero nomás para mí. Ay, José, compártela. Learn to share. No, but, you know, obviamente platicamos, you know, the relationships y todo eso. What is the ideal man for Melody? Like, si tú puedes pintar the perfect guy, what are the traits? ¿Cómo se tiene que mirar? What is the perfect guy for you?
He has to be a lover boy. I'm tired of these guys que no quieren nada, que no tienen corazón. I don't even care cómo me traten. Just don't be weird around my family. I feel like just be close to my family and like if my family loves you, like I feel like everything will be a good couple. Because if my family doesn't love you, I'm sorry.
When you think about love now, what are red flags that maybe back then you were like letting pass by y ahora you're like, you know what, as soon as I see that red flag, I'm cutting it here? What are red flags que tú ya no permites?
Todavía no las veo.
You're like, sepa.
I feel like a red flag for me is don't talk about social media to me. Like it's like is that all you want or what? Because like when, say I go out with my friends or something, like a mí no me gusta que me den como la atención así. I feel like, okay, who is she? What did she do?
Yeah.
And, you know? So, like, for me, if a guy starts to talk about, like, oh, are we gonna, like, blow up on social media? Or
Are we gonna do a video?
Are we gonna do a video? Like, no. For me, that's a red flag already.
Yeah, it's giving clout chasing.
Yeah, it's giving... Yes. I want your money, not you.
Literally, you're like, and I've had too many of those.
Yeah, yeah, too many of those.
Ya me harté, ya pendeja, ya no soy, ya se levantó la Melody, amigas.
I'm up.
She's no cheating for sure.
Yeah,
has to be one of your red flags. I'm like, has to, girl.
Like, I'll give you 3 strikes.
I'll let you cheat twice. Ya la tercera, chinga su madre. But I think those are good. And I feel like, I hope, you know, eventually you find the guy that respects you, loves you, y te da todo lo que te mereces. Because I feel like, you know, sometimes as women, you know, soportan mucho because they think that they're not worthy of being loved. They think that there will never be a guy que las va a tratar como princesas. But, you know, va a llegar el momento donde, como dices tú, te va a llegar tu barbón que te va a tratar como te debe tratar y que te va a traer hasta las estrellas, you know?
Yes. I
hope. I like que te escucha Dios, Alan.
I was like, please. I was like, I can't wait for that day.
What advice would you give, ya para terminar este tema, what advice would you give to any girls watching at home, you know, that have gone through a bad breakup, have gotten cheated on, y se sienten que a lo mejor no pueden continuar su vida sin su ex o sin su pareja?
In a relationship, you should just always be close to at least someone else. At least have a friend with you, someone you can talk to. Because in my relationship, I feel like I was just, how I was telling you, I was so close to my mom, my sister. And I feel like in that relationship, I wasn't even close to them. I feel like it was like, I wasn't close to them at all.
¿Cómo te alejaste?
Yeah, because of him. Like, he would tell me stuff and, like, I don't know. It was just so weird. I feel like you should just have someone to give you advice and, like, someone you should talk to pa que te ayuden, you know? Because I had no one to talk to. I always felt alone. He was, like, the only person, like, I would tell, and obviously me lavaba el coco.
I feel like that's a very narcissistic thing to do. You know, te alejan de la familia para que no tengas a alguien que te ponga. You're like, no, yo nomás te quiero controlar.
So I feel like you should just have someone with you.
Wow, you guys. Yo sé que en el episodio de hoy andan con sus palomitas, con todo el chisme. Ya para terminar el episodio del día de hoy, cuéntanos en dónde te miras tú en los próximos 5 años, whether that is relationship-wise, career-wise. Cuéntanos.
I do want to start social media once again. I know I've done it like my whole life. I'm sure my mom records me like behind the scenes. But like me physically getting the camera and like recording my whole day, I feel like that's something I want to start doing. Just to be like set and have everything in the future. I'm going to be in a content house with some creators, some influencers. It is going to be some girls. And
can you say yet who or todavía no?
No.
Es sorpresa.
Es sorpresa. I wasn't even going to tell you guys I'm in a content house, but yeah.
So you're coming out here to live out here when you're at the con, or vas a start going back and forth?
Well, they told me to live here, but I don't want to leave my family. I feel like I'm just always with them. So I'm going to be coming every week, technically. Aquí voy a estar. Ahora sí voy a tener casa con ellos.
Ahora sí, amigas. Y si quieren seguir buscándola y viendo lo que la Melody is up to, make sure que la sigan on all her social medias, which I'll leave down below. Y no se les olvide también seguirme a mí so you guys won't miss any future episodes. And with that being said, thank you so much, Melody, for being here with us today.
I hope you guys enjoyed all my chisme. I'm like, I bet you they're screen recording. I'm like, you guys can stop screen recording already.
You're like, ya no va a haber más chisme.
Ya no va a haber.
You're like, all the clippers, you can stop now. But with that being said, amigas, thank you guys so much for watching. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Guys. Yay.